Hello, I am Burcu Kismet, and I'm presenting this study with Assistant Professor Dr. Tayibe Seyman Guray. The name of this study is Proposals to Develop Sustainability City Center Access Upon Case Studies, Istanbul, Erzincan, Balıkesir, Bursa, Adıyaman. Content of the presentation will start with aim of the study, followed by methods and materials, followed case studies and results, then continued with discussion and end with conclusion part. We are starting with aim of the study. UN Habitat recently released a report about sustainability urbanization. UN defined the years between 2020 and 2030 as decade of action in order to save our planet for future generations, in order to proceed and imply actions for the sustainable developments. It is indicated that impact of pandemics, climate change, wars, and inequality raise the necessity of sustainability cities. Not only focusing on renewable energy sources and these issues, but also accessibility, heritage, cultural continuity, and localization are needed to be emphasized. This study aims to examine city center access and investigate of problems related to this access from environmental, social, and economic sustainability point of views. Methodology. Detailed literature reviews are done, and other problem investigation methods are site observations, examination of local dynamics for the five city center access, and statistical data analysis of government and local authorities are done. After evaluating the problems in order to improve life quality and resilience of the cities, the proposals that includes tables, 2D and 3D drawings are prepared. This study contains student projects in sustainability and architecture course in architecture department, focusing on examination of city center access and investigation of problems related to environmental, social, and economic sustainability issues for Erzincan, Balıkesir, Bursa, Adıyaman, and Istanbul. 5 different city center access from 5 different cities in Turkey are selected. These cities are different in population, in urban population, in area, their geographical location. Also, they are different in HDI and Forbes rankings. This differentiation is important while examination of the problems and proposing solutions. The reasons behind these rankings are tried to be evaluated, and sustainability problems that are related about selected access are questioned. In this regard, European Commission's policy is examined in detail, and a new evaluation criteria with urban sustainability indicators are proposed with an aim of survey environmental, social, and economic sustainability. The methodology of defining the urban sustainability indicator is a choice and interpretation of the indicators from a large set of framework examples. In consideration of local problems and dynamics of the focused access, not the whole city, the proposed evaluation criteria have developed as an integration and localization of these examples. In this model, there are 3 sustainability aspects: environmental, social, and economic. Each sustainability aspect divided into subsystems, which is called urban sustainability indicators. For environmental sustainability, the indicators are green spaces, energy efficiency, mobility, air quality, disaster management, waste reuse, and recycle. For social sustainability, indicators are quality of public space, urban safety, heritage, awareness, accessibility, and nuisance. Economic sustainability indicators are tourism, local economy, life cycle management of urban properties, and idle buildings. Each axis are analyzed qualitatively and quantitatively and evaluated according to these urban sustainability indicators, and specific solutions are proposed and shown in the tables in result part. For each case studies and each axis, the same methodology is done. In the left part, we are seeing the existing situation and description of the axis. In the right side, we are seeing the sustainability proposals for the axis, which includes 2D and 3D drawings and maps. And then a table that shows the result is shown. In table, it includes sustainability aspects, urban sustainability indicators, sustainability problems, and sustainability issues. This methodology is done for the whole 5 axes. And according to the results, most of the cities have generally accessibility problems and there are lack of green areas. Also, quality of public spaces is low. And some axes have local problems like abandonment of cultural area, abandonment of underpasses, or visual pollutions related to ads or AC units. Or nuisance because of there's so many restaurants around the axis. Those are the local problems, and each of them are shown and marked in the table. In discussion part, we use an urban metabolism framework as a spider diagram, shows the existing situation with simple representation technique. It's easier for understanding and classifying the main problems. The problems classified from 0 to 3 according to their quantity and quality of sub-problems from the taken from the table in the result part that I shown one slide ago. And the major indicators are mobility, urban safety, existing of idle buildings, quality of open spaces, nuisance, recycling, green spaces, and accessibility. While we are checking this urban metabolism framework, we can understand that mobility is not the main problem that exists in the whole 5 axes. However, like green spaces and nuisance is like a more common problems that should be thinking in detail. Also, existing of abandoned buildings or urban safety is not a problem that exists in the whole 5 axes. For the conclusion part, particularly it's important for the whole 5 axes is existing earthquake assembly areas are not sufficient. According to ICCAUA, the gross minimum area of the assembly areas for the population living in that area is determined as 2 square meters per person for the first earthquake zones, and these 5 axes located in the first degree earthquake zones. So for the whole axis, this calculation should be done and aim to obtain this safe level. Also, it's important to consider this study as a guideline for sustainability transformation about access in urban context and aim to be a resource for government and local authorities. To conclude, the most important goal of this study is thinking in micro while designing, thinking in macro while designing in micro. With an aim of having sustainability cities by 2030, it is important to start in micro scale as soon as possible. These transformations on axis should be considered as the part of the whole. This is end our presentation. Here we are showing the references. Thank you, and if you have questions, we are here to answer.